Hello, everybody, and welcome to Money Mondays with Tony and Elisha. Woo woo! we got, we got.
Oh, that's what we doing.
That's what we're doing tonight.
Okay.
Yes. This month is Financial Literacy Month, and so we're kicking off talking about having Money Monday conversations, a variety of conversations. We may even have some special guests, but the whole purpose is to utilize our social media platforms to talk about one of the things that we like to talk about a lot, which is finances and money. So you can't go wrong with the cashes. You can't go wrong with the cashes talking about money. Not only
that's why she married me, my last name.
It is.
She's like, I want to have that cool last name.
No,
like,
no.
Hey boo, I want to get that last name from you.
No, it wasn't because you had a cool last name. It was because I figured that with a last name like Cash, you hopefully had some. Okay.
Right. You know, like you remember that commercial, the jelly commercial for Smuckers, and they used to say, with a name like Smuckers, it had to be good. And that's essentially saying, if you're going to name your jelly Smuckers, I mean, my God, when we taste it, it's got to be good. And so I think that's the same way you were thinking about my last name.
We digress. We're completely not talking about marriage tonight or how.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's a part of it, though. You know, it's a part, like the interworking of our marriage and finances and how we came to know and love each other and all of that. It's a part of it. Okay, it's a part of it. Especially while we wait for everybody to come aboard and get in. You know, we can just have a love fest, and then once they get in, we can say, "Oh, okay, let's talk about money."
Yes. Yes. Well, tonight that's exactly. Hey, Barbara, what we have. Hey, Chanel. We jumped on today to talk about money during the entire month of April on Mondays, because financial literacy is something that is very important to Tony and myself. It's something that we value.
Yeah.
It's information that we've shared. Tony is an expert in finances. For those of you that don't know, he's led forward-facing. Well, you just tell him who you are, honey.
Well, I mean, but for some reason, when you do it, it just comes across so much better. Like it's just so much poetic, and sometimes you say things I didn't know about myself. So it's like, whoa, I am the man. But I've led, as she said, several forward-facing financial institutions for some of America's largest financial institutions. I have over 20 plus years of financial learning, expertise, teaching, training, whatever you want to say. And I have been a good steward in my own home, would you say, honey?
Yes.
Of just leading my family financially. But I want to also say something that maybe we couldn't say 5 years ago, but we can say now, as much as Elisha has learned and studied money, that she's too a well-qualified financial consultant. I mean, she's been with me along the way. She's been with me every step of the way. And I tell you, she's telling me things that she's heard from Bloomberg and all these different places that I didn't even realize was out there. So I think together we make a formidable financial tag team.
Yes, he's the coach, not the mentor.
Right.
Yes. And one of the things that we want to make sure that we share is like knowing, having information and sharing with others is very important to us. It's especially in the Black community. Sometimes we can find ways that we've gotten out, and then you don't come back and help and empower others. And so our whole platform is taking things that we are great at and helping and empower others. And so finances, money management, financial management is in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
It's not something that we make up. It's something we live by. When we say live below your means, we've done that. We've experienced a lot of things in finances, some good, some bad, some mistakes, some things that we've grown from, some things I have grown from. And on Monday, Money Mondays, I actually share those conversations and those experiences with you, because it helped Tony to write 2 best-selling books, which is one, I Know Why You're Broke.
Hey, go out and cop my book and buy some for some family and friends who you know are not handling their money properly. It's an easy read. This is the very first one I wrote. Very proud of it. So this is the first one.
And we're not here to sell books tonight, but since we're bragging, Financial Freedom is another book. It's on Amazon. You can go and get it.
Can they see it?
Yeah,
honey?
they can. Okay.
Oh, it's just me?
Yeah, it's just you. You gotta kind of hold it like that. Okay.
There it is.
Financial Freedom is another book, and so he shared his life experiences in both of these books, why he's passionate about finances. Has anybody ever grown up without? And so if you've grown up without, there's some things that you say, well, I would never go back to. And I want to safeguard my future because I know what it's like to go without. And that is a huge part of Tony's story, which is now part of my story, because when he was pinching off, telling me to turn off the lights, and we was fighting about money, it was because of his fear of being poor, because that is where he grew up, a space that he grew up in, a place where he said that he would not go back to. And so we continue to unpack where we are financially in this financial space, some 19 years later, because we are married 19 years. And so this year, and we've learned a lot of things.
And she still as pretty as ever, by the way. Mm-hmm. I know we're on here about money, but
we are.
She still as fine as ever.
19
years later, so I don't know why. It's hard for me to do these things and sit this close to her and not want to kiss on her. So I know that may not be financially professional.
It's not financially professional. But it's not live professional either.
Okay, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm just a guy in love. Forgive me. Okay, go ahead and talk about money.
Okay, focus. So we're focused tonight on Money Mondays that we jump on so you can ask us questions. So you can ask questions, any financial question that you have. We ask you to drop your questions in the chat, and then we choose conversations that we're going to talk about. We have 2 upcoming events this month. One is free and open to the public. It's a family financial workshop that will be held at Stonecrest Library, and it's held at the end of the month. I will have that date for you. I'll drop it in the chat shortly. And that's free and open up to the public. And we're excited about that because we know that children should learn about finances, and we know that it's important that a family that financially grows together can build wealth. Mm-hmm. And it's a mindset shift. And so we're going to share with families on April 22nd at 11 a.m. at the Stonecrest Library. Now we have a workshop at the end of the month. Oh my God, it's a master class.
Awesome.
It's a 3-day master class. We are
3 days, guys. Come on now. Come on out. Get your family and friends. 3 days.
First of all, it's going to be super amazing. We're very excited about sharing this level. We're going to it's a hybrid experience. Thursday is going to be virtual, and then 2 days in person with Tony and myself, where we're going to sit down and share with you a financial journey map and what that will look like, what you need in 2023 to be financially successful. Because the roadmap to financial freedom looks so different when you include inflation, and you have to know what that dynamic looks like. We have to make some adjustments financially. Everything has gone up. The price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of schooling, so much has gone up. And so we have to increase our savings goal. We have to increase our goals, period, when it comes to finances. It has to look different.
Investment, our investment acumen has to change. What we thought worked in 2021 in our investment portfolio, we can't use that same investment strategy. What we thought worked in our savings strategy in 2021, 22, we can't use that. As things change in the financial atmosphere, you need coaches and mentors that help you to adapt, pivot, and change accordingly. You don't need to be out on the internet trying to figure it out. You don't need to be Googling it. You don't need to be tuning in to someone who has not sat down with you and giving you personal attention that will help solidify your personal financial future. And that's what this is all about.
Mm-hmm. So the master class is called Win with Your Money. And so I don't know how many of you are watching tonight and you're tired of being on the losing end, or the barely making it, or the paycheck to paycheck, or the space where you know that you could do better, and so we want to help you win with your money. We want to walk this journey with you, and we're committed to doing 3 days with you to help you have the mindset, set some goals, have a journey map that's going to start where you are and take you where you want to become. And it's called Win with Your Money.
There's an aspect of what we're going to talk about on that day, on those 2 days or 3 days, that I think is often overlooked. And if this is you, drop this in the chat if this is something that relates specifically to you, where I make enough money to pay my bills and to do all the things I need to do, but I don't have clarity of the direction I'm going with my money. Meaning like it's just I just don't have a point A to point B to point C clarity of what direction I should be taking the financial blessings that I've been given. And so and you're this person again, please drop it in the chat. I really just need this this journey map, financial journey map, because I need to just be able to understand where I'm going with my money. So if that's you, we're gonna help you with that. If that's you, drop it in the chat, and so that we know that there are people out there who I'm dealing with that.
Yeah. Share with everyone what are some of the, and now that we're in 2023, what should someone's top priority be in 2023 when it comes to their finances?
Well, number one, I'm going to say this. This is why this master class is so important, because there is no general answer for everyone. Finances is one of the things that is like medical attention. One size does not fit all. Do you know you can have the same disease as another person, but yet when the doctor examines you, the process of healing and making you better may be different than the next patient, because you have the same disease, but maybe not the same genetics. You don't have the same body mass. You don't have the same ability to withstand some of the processes that maybe the other person can have. Maybe this person can go through chemotherapy. Maybe you're a person who just can't stand chemotherapy. And so one of the things that this masterclass does is it gets to the root of what you personally need to be better in your finances, because one person may need clarity in saving, clarity in investing. One person may need clarity in just the way they think about their money. Where do I take? I got this lump sum of money. Where do I put this? What is your thoughts on this type of investment? What do you believe inflation is telling us about investment? Should we be diving in, investing more, or should we be pulling back because of inflation? When I tell you this masterclass, you need to invite 3 or 4 people, and if you're financially able to help them, you need to pay for this class so that they can come, and it's time for our people to change and get better in their finances.
Well, one of the things I hear, especially within some of the people I sit down and speak with, is wanting to know how to diversify their financial portfolios. Like, what does that look like from good debt versus bad debt? What different type of investments they should have, and what their portfolio should look like progressively. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, again, thank you for that question, because those are questions I get asked all the time, especially when I'm doing one-on-one financial consultation with people. And I'll tell you again that everybody's portfolio is going to look different based on where. So if you're someone who's trying to, let's say you say, well, I want to invest in real estate, but I need the financial backing, I need the savings, I need the down payment, it's going to be different than someone who maybe already has the real estate that they want, but now they're thinking about early retirement. Or the next person is thinking about, I don't want to totally retire, I want to work past 55, 65, but I also want to have this nest egg so that I can travel. So every individual portfolio, the process by which they're going to get there is going to be different. And that's why you need the masterclass, because we're going to go in 120% into just making sure that by the time you leave this class, I promise you, you're going to be sure and clear on not only what your goals are, not only how to achieve your goal, but you're going to have a timeline to achieve those goals. You're going to understand oppositions to those goals. What are some of the challenges that you have to be able to overcome without and within? In other words, some of the challenges that society is presenting that's stopping you from hitting your goals. But then we're going to even be talking about some of the things that internally that are a hinder to you achieving your goal. And so everyone's portfolio, everyone's process will be different, but I promise you, this is going to be a master class that's going to blow your mind when you recognize and walk away with the tools that you're going to need to succeed financially. I'm just excited about it. And I think you ought to invite 3 or 4 people. We're running out of room. We only have room for 25, 26 more people. So we're running out of space. April 20, I think it's April 27th through 29th, 3 days, a 3-day masterclass designed to help you dominate your finances and celebrate the wins along the way with your own journey map. And listen, this is going to be spectacular. It is worth the cost. It is worth the cost. Trust me, it is worth it. When you see how much we have poured into making sure that we give you that personal time to be successful in your finances.
One of the things, thank you for sharing and helping people have clarity on the goal setting, because a lot of times I find that sometimes people don't know what type of goals they should set for their finances, and it's so key. Or if their goal is realistic.
That's right.
Or if if they should push themselves a little bit more, because sometimes people fall in that comfort area, and you think, oh, I'm jamming with $100.
Yeah.
I'm saving $100. It's like, you need to be saving a little bit more than $100. You need to push yourself. $100 may have been good to save a month 10 years ago,
Yeah.
but now you need to be a little bit more aggressive in your savings goals or in your investment goals. And so you're sitting down to look at what your
Yes.
picture looks like to help you set some realistic goals. So I think that's important. For those of you that are joining us, just started joining us, we have breaking news that it's Financial Literacy
Yes.
Month, which is very important for people this month to take a look at their finances. I think it's a great month because we've gotten through the holidays, we've gotten through the first quarter of the year, and now it's tax season. And so it's a unique opportunity to sit down, to take a hard look at where you are financially, to do an audit. I don't know how many of you actually sit down and audit your emails and say, okay, let me unsubscribe to all of these stores and things like that. Because sometimes, depending on the email carrier you have, they will ask you, do you want to unsubscribe from, because you haven't opened an email or promotion email from them. It's the same thing with your finances. You have to sit down once a year to do an audit of your finances.
Yes.
Take a look at your portfolio, take a look at your goals, especially now with inflation and where the economy is, and do another assessment of where you would like to be. And so that's what we're doing. It's the wake up call. The Cashes have come to wake you up. And say, hey, it's Financial Literacy Month. You don't have to do this alone.
You don't have to do this alone.
We want to do this with you. Him as a coach, I as a mentor. We want to walk with you through your financial journey, wherever you are, to help you win with your money.
Listen, drag family members. Listen, I don't want you to take no for an answer. Drag family members, drag your husband, drag your wife, and say, listen, baby, it's time for us to get smart about our finances. Your friends, text people, call them. Don't just text them, call them and say, it's time for us to get smart about our finances. We played games long enough. It's time for us to get on this financial journey to financial success. And when I talk about smart, you know what it is. It's time for us to be specific about the goals we want to reach. It's time for us to have goals that are measurable. It's time for us to have goals that are achievable. It's time for us to have goals that are relevant. Listen, no, let me tell you something. Relevant. Your grandmama and them used to save pennies in a cookie jar, nickels in a shoebox, but that's not enough now. Relevancy matters when you're saving.
This is passion.
Yes.
This is his passion.
Relevancy matters when you're investing. It's time for you to stop doing things that are not relevant. It's not, listen, I got nothing against you taking your money, your coins, putting it in a jar. But baby, that's not paying college tuition. That's not making sure you can leave anything for your children's children. That's not building real estate portfolios. That's not making sure that you can go on trips across the seas with myself and my wife. That's not making sure that you can fly on the weekend to California, New York when you want to. No, you gotta have relevant processes that will be able to help you achieve your goal. And guess what the last one is? It must be time bound. We only have so much time in this life. Tamara said, yell at us, Pastor. I'm yelling at y'all because I'm doing what mom and dad have told me. Said, my children are hard-headed. I told them to save and invest and they wouldn't do it, so pastor yell at them. It has to be time bound. In other words, you got to say, I want to be at this place by a certain time. How many times, Pastor, have you heard people who just casually say, I want to be rich? I want to be wealthy. Well, by when? Well, I don't know by when, but one day. Well, what day? What time? What age? When do you want to be able to sit back and say, man, I did that, period?
Well, a lot of times we find that it's poor execution that kills dreams and kills goals.
Yes.
So that means that we can have a goal and we can have a dream, but how we execute the things that's going to get us to the end goal is what's really important. It's what we're doing with you is the execution process. And so whatever your goal is, we want to help you get there. We want to help you iron out the wrinkles. We want to be those accountability partners to help you achieve those goals. Because a lot of times we find, and so because we are Black and brown, and most of the people that are connected to the work that we do in the community are Black and brown, we find that it's not that we don't have the resources. We are directing our resources in the wrong direction. We are not utilizing our resources smart. We struggle with delayed gratification. We struggle with imagery, which robs us a lot of our future and our finances, where we could be more ahead of. Yes.
Can I share one thing that people that I just want to share when we talk about having assets versus liabilities? This is important. And I tell people when they talk about buying a car, I don't have anything against buying a new car except for the fact that I would think twice about it if it's going to really harm my financial goals. But here's one of the things I tell people. This is how you treat assets. You treat assets as a means by which if something happens outside of your control, that asset can protect you. Mm-hmm. So for instance, let's say Lisa bought a brand new car for $45,000 and she's cruising down the street and it's nice. The car is beautiful. And Lisa, 6 months into having the car, lose her job. But she has a $700 or $800 car note. Okay, life happens. Let's say Stephanie saves up her money and buys a used vehicle cash for $14,000. Now she loses her job. Now the scenario is the same. Both Lisa and Stephanie lost their job. Now tell me though, if an emergency comes, who is going to be in a better position? Somebody put in the chat who is in a better position. Is Lisa in the better position with a $700 car note and she owes $30,000, or is Stephanie in better position with a $14,000 car that she paid cash for? Stephanie is. You know why? Because if she gets to a place where she doesn't have monies and means, guess what she can do to that car? She can sell that car until she gets back on her feet. But Lisa now has got to call and she got to ask the bank or whomever her financier is to, hey, can you give me 2 months? I'm having a hard time. But Stephanie, on the other hand, says, well, look, it's hard, but I know one thing, I have an asset and I can sell this asset. I'm not working anyway. So while I'm not working and I need a few dollars, I can sell this asset. She might only get $10,000 off of it, $9,000 from it. But guess what? That asset protects her for 3 or 4 months, as opposed to Lisa, who is now having to beg the dealership or the bank to give her 3 or 4 months so that she can pay it. Now, what's affected? Her credit is affected, her relationship with the bank or whomever it is that financed it, and her emotions. See, these are the, somebody got to put in the chat if that really helped you, because these are the master class thoughts and ideas that we're going to help you see. And if that scenario kind of help you understand what a master class does, put it in the chat so that we know that we're helping you.
Our goal is to help people get better with money. And it's so important that we learn how to get better with money. And the only way we're going to do that is to make sure that we carve out time to sit down with an expert that can help us think and look at money with a different lens. It doesn't take away your knowledge base, because I'm around a lot of smart people.
Yes.
I'm around a lot of people that are, they are very goal oriented. They are very savvy. They're moguls. They do well in their careers. They make great money, but they may not be so great with their money.
Correct.
Or they may need a push to have someone have a different lens on their finances to say, how can they win in this area more? I need to ramp up my finances. I want to grow my finances in this area. I would like to get out of debt. I would like to pay down my student loans. I would like to help save for my child's college, or I would like to help, I would like to save more for retirement, or I would like to plan my retirement. What does that look like for me? Whatever your goal is in 2023, it needs tweaking.
Yes.
Your goal last year did not include inflation.
$9 eggs.
I'm sorry, it did not. I know ours did not. Ours did not include $9 eggs. It just did not. Ours did not include a housing market that tripled. Ours did not include the vehicles cost more. I mean, everything.
Oil changes are $90.
Right.
Satan, the Lord rebuke you.
Right. We did not account for inflation. So that means we have to sit down and look at our financial goals, and we have to tweak them. We have to. And I know some of you is like, when there's a bill coming in the mail, you keep stacking it up and you don't open it because you don't want to deal with it. Well, we're in the 4th month of this year, and it's time for us to deal with your financial picture. It's time for us to let's sit down and let's talk about our financial picture, what that looks like. Let's go through let's do an audit of what we spend our money on to see where we can cut back, where we can cut off, where we can cut corners. Let's look at the debt, and let's look at it head to head, eye to eye, nose to nose, and figure out how we could start paying this off so that you can not be so stressed and you're not living paycheck to paycheck, where you're, you get paid one day, and then you're waiting for the next paycheck, and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that we can do it together. And I believe that you can get more out of your finances. You just need the right support system. And Tony and myself, we believe that we're called to do that. This is our all. I mean, Tony is just good with money. He just is. Pastor Tony is just the best at what he does. And I am a product of that.
It was hard, y'all. Don't get it confused. It was hard. Right. But listen. Yes. I want to share some statistics with you. We're in a financial epidemic.
Yes. Okay.
We are, point blank. Mm-hmm. Student debt in 2006 was $600 billion. Today, is $1.6 trillion that we owe in student debt. There's a statistic that says 1/3 of Americans. So how many people are in America? I think the count is 1 billion. So 1/3 of that, I don't know the number, I ain't that good, but 1/3 of those people say they have zero saved for retirement. 40% of American has credit card debt of $20,000 or more. And here's the thing. The average cost for a 4-year degree has doubled to nearly $105,000 over the last 2 decades. Now, here's the problem. In the midst of that, median income has only risen a modest $5,000. So while the cost of education and life and food has risen astronomical rates, it seems that the financial education of Americans isn't reaching that level. It's an epidemic. This is why we're saying put us to work. This is why we are so passionate. This is why this means so much to us. We're saying it's time to stop. It's time to say, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to call all of my friends, my family members, and I'm going to harass you until you say, I'm coming out to be with Tony and Alicia Cash at this financial masterclass. Baby, tell them the days again. Come on now, because this thing right here.
Well, I just dropped the link.
I know you dropped it, but they need to hear it. They need to hear it.
Okay. I just dropped the link in the chat, and the date is starting April 27th through April 29th. It is a hybrid workshop. We're going to start off on that Thursday virtually, and then in person on that Friday and Saturday. And so it's very doable. You just got to go ahead and save those dates, which is April 27th through April 29th, Thursday through that Saturday. Save those dates and put down
April what?
April 27th.
April 27th?
They can hear.
No. They can't. See, you don't understand this thing. I've been in sales my whole life. You got to let people know how important things are. You got to come through that screen. They don't need to think, oh, they need to know.
Are y'all praying for me?
No, they listen. They need my loud mouth telling them. So when they pass this on to their friends, their family members, this guy is passionate about this. And see, if you know anything about advertisement, that's the one thing they say. You got to be loud about it.
What's that? Is that Stephen A. that you?
Stephen A.
So Pastor Tony is Stephen A.'s cousin.
The Stephen A. of financial literacy.
Oh my God!
The Stephen A. of but I'm telling you what I know is being in sales. You got to have some passion. You got to be like really, you got to let people know this is the place to be, that we're excited about it and we want to see you there.
Well, that wraps up our Monday talk for this Monday. We're so excited that you all joined us. And again, for those of you that joined us a little late, my name is Alicia Cash. This is Pastor Tony Cash, and we are your money coach and money mentor. Financial Literacy Month is the whole month of April, and so we're going to jump.
And somebody just joined.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, tell them the date again.
Oh my
April gosh. 20 what?
April 27th.
Through what?
April 28th.
Come out to
29th. I'm sorry.
Through April 29th. Come out and win with your money.
Yes.
Come out. Tamara says she wish she could share this video. When it's over, she'll be able to, right?
Right. You can share it. It's on YouTube. You just hit share, and you can just share it on on your socials.
Barbara say, I'm coming through loud and clear. Amen, Barbara. Let me tell you something.
You're coming.
Yeah, it's okay. I need y'all to come out, and I need you all to be a part of this because it's going to be a blessing for your life.
Well, it certainly is, and we will be back here next Monday, talking all things money the entire month of April, because financial literacy is so important. And the reason being is sometimes the formula changes for what goals we need to.
Janae said they can hear you in China.
Right.
Well, you better tell some of my Chinese friends to sign up too. I want some of my Chinese friends, my Italian friends. I want my Indian friends. I want everybody to sign up for this because you're going to be better after this.
Again, we are joined by Stephen A's cousin. He's Stephen A's cousin of
Tony A.
And we just wanted to come on tonight to let everyone know it's Financial Literacy Month. We'll be right back here next Monday talking about some specific financial conversations, but it's very important that we get knowledgeable about our money. And so we have a masterclass coming up at the end of the month that's in person. And we just want you to be a part of everything that we're doing to help you become financially free. God bless you, and thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.
Bye-bye.